Hello everyone and welcome back to the Flutter tutorial. In this video, we'll create our first Flutter application. I assume all of you have already downloaded Android Studio, so let's open it. First, we need to configure Android Studio to create Flutter applications for us. Let's click on the Configure button. Then here, we click on Plugins and then search for Flutter. Alright, what you need to do is click install. I've already installed it, but it's a very easy step. You click install, then it might ask you, do you want to install Dart as well? Yes, click yes for that. And after it finishes, just click OK. And now we would have a new button, create a new Flutter project. And if it doesn't appear to you, just restart Android Studio and it will show up. Click on it. Here we would select our Flutter project. I will keep it as Flutter application because that's what we will be doing. Click next. Let's give it our project first name, first app for example. Then here Flutter SDK path. It should detect it by itself, and if it doesn't, you can select it when you click on this button. And project location, where do you want to save your project? I will keep it as is. And here description for our app, I will say our first Flutter app and click on next. Project name is like an identifier for your package. If you don't have one, you can create one like com.yourname or your company name the name of the project. Let's click on finish and wait for the application to be created. Alright guys, now we have our project created. Let's have a look at the project structure. Inside here we have first app, then external libraries. First app is the Flutter source code and our application will be inside there. Then external libraries are the libraries that our project will depend on. So let's open this. We have Android, then we have iOS. Android and iOS are platform-specific folder. For example, for Android, we ask user permission inside the manifest, so we can have the manifest inside here. Same as for iOS, we have the info.plist and other things inside this folder. Then we have the lib folder. The lib folder is the core folder and the main folder for any Flutter application. Approximately everything we write will be inside the lib folder. So we have then main.dart. Main.dart is currently holding this dummy project that Flutter created for us. Then we have test. Test is a folder for testing our code. It has unit testing, widget testing, and all that, but this is beyond the scope of this tutorial. This is a beginner tutorial and we will not discuss test here. So I will delete this folder. To delete it, we right click it, then delete, delete. Then we have a bunch of files we don't care about mostly. We just care about popspec.yaml and popspec.yaml we will discuss it later. Alright guys, now let's have a look at the main.dart file. Inside here we have void main. Void main, as we said before, it's the first function that gets called whenever we run our app. Inside it we have run app, const my app. My app is actually a class and it's a widget. If I haven't said this before, Flutter is all widget. We are dealing with a chain of widgets, widget inside a widget, and so on. Inside it we have a build method. This build return material app. Material app is the core widget of Flutter application. It's the parent widget. Inside it we have title, theme, home. Home is taking my home page. My home page, as we can see, it's also a class and it's also a widget. And we're passing a title. Title is a string and it's name parameter, as we can see here. Inside this class we have this function, increment counter. Then we have this build method. This build method is returning a scaffold. Scaffold is also a widget and we will discuss it and talk about it later. It has app bar, it has body, then center. Inside the center we have a column, and inside the column we have two text. And at the end we have floating action button. Now let's run this application to see it in action. First we click on AVD manager. Here we can see our emulators. If you don't have any of those, create a virtual device, click on it. Then you select what phone do you want to use. Click next and select an image. Click next. Here at graphics, You must select hardware because it uses the graphics card of your computer for faster rendering, then click Finish. After it creates it, click Run, and it might take some time to run it. Alright, now we have our emulator started. Let me close the AVD manager and run our app. To run the app, we click on this green button, and to debug it, we click on that. Now we want to run it. Let's run it. When we first run it, it may take some time. Alright, now our application is running. Now let's have a look to our application. First, we have Flutter demo homepage. This is the title. Inside this app bar, then we have the body. In the body we have the center text, this the first text, then this the number is another text, then we have this floating action button, and if I click it, it will increment this number, and that's it. That's our application for now. Alright guys, that was our application for now, and don't worry if you didn't get anything inside here, because I will discuss and talk about each and every item in here. So what I will do now, I will just erase everything inside here, and I will close this project tab to give me some space. Then instead of saying const my app, what I will do, I will say const material app, and inside here I will give it home property. Before I continue, let me just explain what const mean. Const is an constant. So if this thing is not updating and it's not dynamic, it's static like so, we can say constant. It's better for optimizing our performance for the app. So inside the home, I will say text, then I will say hello there. Now you may wonder, why didn't I say const here also? This is not dynamic. Yeah, I didn't say const here because we already said this is const, so no need to duplicate it. Just once, we write it once. So if I click here, hot restart, it will restart our app like it's starting from scratch. Otherwise, we have also hit reload. Hit reload is like when we change some text or something, or when we click Ctrl S to save or Command S, it does hot restart. Hot reload is like fresh start for the app. Let's see the app, and here we go. Here we have hello there. It's look very ugly, but this is our app currently. So what we need to do now is I want to center this text. To center this text, we have a center widget. As I said previously, everything in Flutter is a widget. So I will cut this, then say center. So to put this text inside the center, we don't actually give it like that. This is not correctly. The correct way is say child, and everything have a child, except for material app or some other widget. They may have home or body or something like that, but most likely most widgets have child property. So inside the child property, I will put this text hello there, then I will hot restart my app, and here we go. Here we have this text centered in our phone. So now let's make this app a little bit cleaner. To make it cleaner, we must talk about Scaffold. Scaffold actually like our base layer for any screen. So inside Scaffold, we have many properties. We have like app bar, we have the body, we have many more. Scaffold is the widget that this dummy app was using. So instead of center and all of that, what I will do is now say Scaffold. Inside Scaffold, I have many properties. For example, I have app bar, and we pass for the app bar, this widget. So inside this widget, here we have an error. This error basically because this app bar is not constant. So what we need to do is to remove this constant. Now we can continue. Inside the app bar, we have many properties. We have title. I can pass the title, and here I can say title. For example, this is a title. No, I can't do that. Everything in Flutter, as I said previously, and I said it now, everything in Flutter is a widget. So the title would also take a widget. So I will cut it, then say text, and inside this, I will put this text. So this is complaining. Why this is complaining? This is complaining because it needs a constant. Now, After each property in Flutter, I shall put comma. So when I put the comma, I will have access to the other property. So down here, I will write body. Body is actually like the child inside the center. From a while, we said every widget has a child. The widget for scaffold is the body. So inside the body, I will say const center, since the center isn't changing. Now inside the center, I will say child, then text, write hello there again. Now let's run this app again. I will click on hot restart, and here we go. This is a title, and now we have this center text hello there again. All right, now we have many properties for scaffold, for app bar, for center. Maybe we might have many properties for each widget. So how to identify the properties for each widget? For example, what if I want to center the title of our, let me just bring this to emulator here. What if I want to center my text inside here? How can I do that? Shall I do center? If I do that center here, it wouldn't work. Actually, app bar has a property called center title, and this doesn't take a widget, it takes true. So you might ask when to use a widget and when to use like boolean or double or numbers. I have an answer for that. The answer for that is either we go to Flutter docs and we see each widget what it does have, or we search it for in Google, then we go there, or we can in Windows we can click Control, then we can click the widget, and on Mac we can click Command and I can click this widget. If I click this app bar, let me just get rid of this. Inside here we can see each element inside each property inside the app bar. This is the constructor of the app bar as we used to do our constructor when we were discussing Dart. So we have leading, we have title, we have action, and here we have center title. Where is it? Here is it. So each widget has many property and we can see each one by that. For example, the center, if we go to the center would only take the child. Here's the child, then height factor and width factor. So we can do that. This is how we know our properties in Flutter. All right, now let's have that floating action button that we used to have inside that dummy application. First, let's put a comma after the body. Then I will write floating and it auto completes for us. And I will write here floating action button and open parentheses. Then inside here, we have an error now. And if we put the mouse here, we can read what is the error. The error is the name parameter onPressed is required, but there is no corresponding argument, which means it has a name parameter called onPressed and we're not sending it yet. So let's send it onPressed, and this is a function actually. So a function, we have to do this to write something here. Here we can write Dart code. All right. Under that, I will have a tulip. Let's put a tulip, and a tulip actually take text, strings, not text. So I will say this is floating action button. Then, as I said, it should have a child. So inside here, I can say text, click me, and it's complaining because it has to be const. Now, if I rerun it, if I click on hit restart, we will have this floating action button right here, and here it is, but it doesn't look really good. How to fix that? First, we don't really have to put text inside here. What we actually need to do is to put icons. So let's see also how to create an icon in Flutter. To create an icon, instead of saying text, I can say icon, and then here, an icon doesn't have a child. Icon actually takes the icon immediately, and to access Flutter icons, I can say icons dot, then I have access to all Flutter icons by default. So I can put anything, let's say add circle, and then click hot restart, and we will have icon instead of this. Here we go. It doesn't look really good. Let's have it just add, and then hot restart. Much better. This is much better. And you may ask what tulip is. Tulip is what text appears when we long press on this button. So if I long press on that, I will see this is floating action button, and it appears for a while, then it disappears. And that would be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video.